These are absolutely the only shots that I'm taking these days. One of these shots is equivalent to 17.
Good evening, everybody. Can y'all hear me? Do my mic sound nice? Check one. Do my mic sound nice? Check two.
Might sound nice.
Check one. Yeah. The millennials don't know nothing about that. Gen Z don't know nothing about that. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Hopefully y'all having a good evening. Let me speak up a little bit so that I don't be sounding like I'm down in the pits. Like I'm down in the pits. Oh, I forgot to give y'all my customary. I forgot to give y'all my customary. I got to make sure I hit y'all off with the disclaimer. Got to hit y'all off with the disclaimer. You feel me? What's going on, man? If this first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, please. I can't see the YouTube comments. Hold on. I don't know let me see. I can't see the YouTube comments. Make sure I got the. All right. Okay, dope. Excuse me. Oh, let me pin this to the top of the chat before I get started. I need to put this somewhere on my computer so that I don't have to come to like a YouTube video every time I want to get this link. All right. Pin this to the top of the chat. Voila. All right, got that pinned to the top of the chat.
And turn your soundboard on.
Oh yeah, I'm a soundboard. I don't know what you telling me. Turn my soundboard on for you. It ain't like you gonna participate in anything.
Well, I just want you to be ready.
Sitting back quiet, peeking over there at Sherwin in the recliner. Sherwin trying to watch The Godfather of Harlem, and you over there. Sherwin, what the answer to this question Tim just asked?
You got to stop.
Speaking of the soundboard, let me set out the bat signal in the Discordia. Everybody pull up. Y'all put something in the chat so I can see who in here. Y'all tell me how y'all day going, man. While I'm doing this. Copy that link. We live, baby. Oh, edit message. Spelled baby wrong. Spelling baby like I went to Ely High. We live, baby. And I got to go into one of these so I can open up my soundboard. Don't nobody love me. Ain't nobody sent me a soundboard. Don't nobody love me. All this money y'all making out here on Al Gore's internet, and ain't nobody sent me a soundboard. Post-struggling YouTuber by the name of Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. Can't get nobody to send my soundboard. Got folk like Wall Street Trapper and all them. Their community just bless them with everything. Buying them Maybachs and everything. My community just like, forget you, Tim. Just give us the gems. That's all we want. Just give us the gems. We don't care nothing about you or nobody. What's that, a keyboard? He sent me a keyboard. Okay. Thank you for the sound. I wish Zoom would share the Zoom chat with y'all. It won't let me show y'all the Zoom chat, but somebody they gonna remain nameless, but they sent me an emoji of a soundboard. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the place where the community treats you like boo-boo. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., aka Aranya Grande. I don't have the other background up here, but y'all know I keep Big Spider with me. You hear me? Keep Big Spider with me. If you don't know who I am, like I said, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., and you are in tune to, hey, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Oh, there it is. You are in tune to another episode of Lead Price Action Recap. Hear me. Right? And this episode of the Price Action Recap is being brought to you by who? The amazing Aranya Grande himself. And it is the Conquering the Asian Session workshop. It will be going off Well, it will be starting up May the 12th and will continue through May the 23rd. Every night, we will be joining one another at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from May 12th through May 23rd. And we're going to be learning how to conquer the Asian session. It's a 2-week intensive video conference where we're going to be talking about different things. Like, this is all going to be pre-recorded, by the way. The live sessions is just going to be just nonstop hard work, digging in the price section, looking to figure out how to conquer the Asian sessions. Your prerequisites will be to look at the pre-recorded videos that I give you. For those that are not aware of the ICT concepts or how they work, those who need some brushing up on the ICT concepts, those who just suck at it and want somebody to help them figure it out, these pre-recorded videos is going to be your prerequisites before we get into the 2-week session. Because during the 2-week session, it will be no teaching. This is a self-paced thing. You look at the videos and you know what I'm saying, you self-paced learn, and then we get hot and heavy starting on the 12th. It will go on sale on April the 1st for the gang for the low price of $100. It will go on sale for non-gang members starting on April 8th. I have decided that the price for non-gang members will be $250. I have decided. I want it to be affordable for everybody. Initially, it was going to be $1,000 thing. But I said, no, I want it to be affordable for everybody. So I'm not going to play the games of, hey, here it is. You can get it for 70% off. You can get it for 90% off. No, I ain't playing them games. I'm just dropping the price down to $100 for the gang members, $250 for non-gang members. I'm not doing it for more than 25 people because I don't want a whole bunch of noise in there. You know, again, it's going to be, the link will be available for the gang on the 1st of April. And then the link will be available to the public on the 8th of April. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. If you want to participate. Once it sell out, don't come be like, Tim, do you have more slots? No, I don't. If you work a 9 to 5, 8 to 4:30 or something that doesn't allow you to watch the markets in the morning, then you may want to partake of this. Right? You may want to partake of this. I will try to get a outline, or I don't know why I don't have my camera on. Why didn't y'all remind me that I don't have my camera on? Uh-oh, I hit the wrong thing. I don't want to put my camera in the Discord. I want to put my camera over here. All right. What was I saying? Sherwin, where was I? Anyway, yeah, y'all pull up. When it sell out, it sell out. Oh, I will try to have together an outline / syllabus or whatever it is, so that you'll know what the pre-recorded videos are. If I don't have all the videos done by April the 1st, then, you know, I'll start to make them available to the people that purchase, you know, as I get them done. I want to try to have them all completed by April the 1st, but April the 1st is in a couple of days, so I ain't even going to lie like I'm going to have them all done on April the 1st. But if I don't have them all finished by April the 1st, they will be, you know, released as I get them done. Right? And that'll give you time to go through the material at your own pace. Like when I did the boot camp was different. The boot camp was like new material every day, and we was price reading every day. New material at night. The next morning we price reading. New material at night. The next morning we price reading. You know what I'm saying? But this time I'm gonna give you a chance to go through the material at your own pace, and you'll have a good month to go through the material. and then we're gonna start the price reading May the 12th, right? So if you work 9 to 5 and you want to figure out how to do it outside of that 9 to 5 window, hey, pull up, man. I'm thinking about doing one for the London session too. Now that one is going to be hard for me to do. So I need to have some interest. I need to have a lot of interest before I say, yeah, I'm going to do it during the London session, because that's a struggle for me. I'm going to have to get up at like 2:30 in the morning every day for 2 weeks and sit down and go through price. You feel me? So if it's some London traders out there that want, I need some serious interest in that one. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to it, man. How was y'all day today, man? How was y'all day? Good, bad, indifferent? Before we get started, like I always do, I always want to give you an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, Tim, I was expecting the price to do this, and it did that. Can you, take a deep dive into the price and help me? Oh, I ain't shout everybody out. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out to my partner, Sherwin. First and foremost, what's happening, Sherwin? Shout out Deborah, right? Deborah, I'm glad you got the regular picture back up that I'm used to, because that light-skinned person that was on there the last time, I don't know who AI'd you and put you on that picture, but that wasn't the Deborah that we know.
Oh, Lord.
What's up, Lump? What's happening? We got Jim. Jim in here. I'm the biggest bird. Shout out, Jim. What's happening, Latasha? What's going on, D? We got Here to Learn and Share up in here. We got Rhonda Green up in here. We got Kashaya. Hey, everyone. We got E-Rock. What's up, E-Rock? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Glad you could make it today also, E-Rock. We got Honey. How did I miss Honey? What's going on, Honey? How you doing? What's up, Kim? What's going on? Hey, I don't see nothing in the chat as far as, people having questions like, price caught them off guard with anything. So we're going to take that as everybody saw what they expected today. What's going on, Yolanda? Yolanda, where my little friends at, Yolanda? You got my little friends with you today? Y'all hold on while I try to get myself together. I done clicked the wrong thing over here on my computer. All right. I wish I could make this soundboard stay up. Ain't no way to make the soundboard stay up. Like make it just. I guess not. I guess I can't. I guess I just gotta let it sit there like that. They in the other room quiet. Okay then. Hey man, let's get to it, man. I don't see nothing in the chat. Nobody said they got any questions, so we're gonna get to it. We're gonna share that screen and do our thing. Bars. Hey, where did y'all go? Where did my Zoom people go? Bars. If there's anybody that's not a part of the gang, and you wondering, hey, Tim, how do I get in the Zoom? How do I get access to the Zoom? You get access to the Zoom by being part of the gang. The link is pinned to the top of the description. Pinned to the top of the chat, and it's the first link in the description. All right, we're gonna turn on the fancy dancy, and we're gonna get to it. We're looking at 15-minute candles, right? We're looking at 50. Oh, just looking at the day, right? Just looking at the day. we can see that we had a little small range day today. We had a small range day today, and we took out yesterday's sell side. Right? We had a small range day today, and we took out yesterday's sell side. All right, looking at this intraday time frame, right? Can anybody else see what else we did besides taking out yesterday's sell side during this small range day? What else did price do? And it has something to do with this area over there. Who can tell? What did we do today? What did we offer? I'm giving you a big clue. What did we offer today? And it has something to do with back this way.
We
filled the
that
week opening gap.
We did what? Say, I heard like 12 people talking.
We filled in the new week opening gap.
Okay, we filled in a new week opening gap, but what did we offer? We offered what? We offered what to what? Okay. I see somebody got the void there, right? Somebody got the void. Shout out Kachaya. She got half of it, right? What did we offer to the void? What did we offer to the void? I'm giving you a clue. What did we offer to the void?
sell side.
Sell side what? Starts with a D.
Delivery.
Sell side delivery. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Shout out Deborah and Kashaya with the Wonder Twin Powers activate. Right? We offered sell side delivery to this liquidity void right over here. Right? And if we hop up to the daily chart, right? If we hop up to the daily chart, we can see that as we spoke about the other day, here we were, I think it was this day, Tuesday, because we didn't do anything yesterday. So Tuesday, as we discussed, we were like, hey, price just took off to the upside. We never even tried to come down, do nothing in this liquidity void. We didn't even try to attack any sell side. We just took straight off to the upside. We left this big old liquidity void down here. You know what I'm saying? If I'm bullish, I don't like to see it just take off and don't do nothing to the downside, man. And now, right? Price has come back down. And if we look there, we almost, what do we say about volume imbalances and liquidity voids? What do we want the algorithm to do? What is healthy price action? When it comes to liquidity voids and volume imbalances, what do we want to see the algorithm do with liquidity voids and volume imbalance? We want to see it do what? I'm gonna give you a clue because this is a kind of advanced question, right? This is your clue. Look at E-Rock coming through with the hard hitting answer. We want to see the algorithm lay a body across it. Right? We want to see a body laid across, right? So what we want to see, there's nothing there. And since we're above price, right, you want to see it lay a body across it to the sell side so that it can come back and offer buy side in that area, right? Sell side delivery, you want to see it lay a body across, right? And then you want to see it come back and offer buy side delivery, right? So we come here, we almost completely laid a full body across there, right? So we didn't quite get the body of the sell side laid across. That would have gave me a better feeling about, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now that we got this body laid across there, all we need to do is offer buy side delivery. That still, you know what I'm saying? That still leaves it open that the algorithm may want to, finish laying a body over there, because now the only way to lay a body completely across this is to close down here somewhere, right? Because this body is starting here, right? You can only close down there to lay a body completely across there. Because if we come back up, right, we still don't have a body across this part. Now, mind you, you don't have to have that body there. You don't have to have that body there, right? But it would just be clean price action to lay that body across, because when bodies don't cover each other, right, that's a type of imbalance. Just like when you got two bodies next to each other, it's a volume imbalance, right? So you still got some type of imbalance in this area right here. Okay, so you don't have to, but that would just be healthy price action in my humble opinion, right? So as we see, price has come down, just like we spoke about on this day here, right? Didn't get any kind of attack to the sell side. Now we've come down, right? And we've traded down into this humongous order block right here, right? We got a humongous order block right there. Well, tell them why you're not picking this one, because this little itty bitty order block is inside this one right here, right? So this is the last candle, but this candle is so little and this candle is big and beefy. It's taking up this whole area, right? So in this case, I'm defaulting to the beefiest candle inside of the consolidation, because this whole candle here engulfs this entire candle except for that little bit of the wick right there, right? That's why I'm defaulting to that as the order block, right? Now, we also have, well, we haven't traded up there yet, but once we trade up past this opening price, this will be a huge order block right here too, right? Now, okay, since we didn't lay that right there, right, it still leaves open the possibility of maybe trying to trade down some more, but who cares? We don't care if it goes up or goes down. We just trade what we see. All right. So now we have this huge volume imbalance / new day opening gap right here, whatever you want to call it, right there. New day opening gap right there. Huge volume imbalance right there. If we turn the settlement on and off, the actual volume imbalance is that big, right? And the new day opening gap is that big. All right. So we got a volume imbalance above us, bearish volume imbalance. We got a SIBI. We've created a SIBI up there, right? That SIBI is also a balanced price range. All right. Oh, let's go up to the weekly, because remember what we said before. We said, what did we say about the weekly? We said we were where, right? Where did we say we was at on the weekly? Do anybody remember what we said we was at on the weekly? Do anybody remember what we said we was at on the weekly?
Are we in the middle of the road?
We are still in the middle of the road. Yes, we're in the middle of the road on the weekly. All right. And why are we in the middle of the road on the weekly? We got a bullish order block below us that we traded down into. We also have, if I can find it, a bullish weekly fair value gap that we traded down to. And we have a bearish weekly fair value gap above us, right? So we got weekly support and weekly resistance that we are in between. We have been in between it where? Since over here, since here. This is when we created this fair value gap, then last week, right? And now this week. Because remember last week, when we created last week, we said we have a weekly SIBI up here where the bullish narrative is getting up here and using it as an inversion fair value gap, right? And then we had this bullish fair value gap down there forever. We had marked out the order block because we had a monthly fair value gap down here. So there was no need to mark out the weekly and the monthly fair value gap. So we marked out the monthly fair value gap, which is down here, and the weekly order block, which is there. All right. So now we're resting in between opposing PD arrays, bearish and bullish. So we're in the middle of the road, right? The bullish narrative is that we get on the top side of the weekly SIBI to use it as an inversion fair value gap, right? But on a weekly basis, until we figure out where we're going to end up on the top side of that, or the bottom side of that, we are still in the middle of the road. We're in the middle of the road on the weekly, right? But the signatures have been bullish. There's been bullish signatures, but we're in the middle of the road, right? Just like on the daily, right? We said on the daily, we right here, we need more information, right? We started to expand up, right? The signatures are still bullish, right? We start to expand up. We created a bullish fair value gap there, right? We got on, there was a, we want to see an inversion fair value gap somewhere. Right there. Yep. We want to see an inversion fair value gap, right? It's because down here, we get out of here weekly. Okay. So all right. So when we were down here, right, we was in the middle of the road in between a daily Sibby and a daily Bissy, right? And then we created an inversion fair value gap, pulled back to it. Then we went back up, closed at the top, and then we expanded away. We displaced away, right? We displaced away, creating a bullish fair value gap, still creating bullish signatures, right? So now, right, we've moved from being in the middle of the road here, right? Now we're up here and we're still in the middle of the road, right? In between weekly PD arrays, all right? So now we have expanded away, right? We came back down into the fair value gap, right? We closed below consequent encroachment, which is okay. Why? Because we're in between weekly PD arrays. So there's a reason to come down here. Also, we got a huge liquidity void down here. A good reason for the daily to come down here. So closing below that consequent encroachment is allowable. We said we want to see this be used as support on the daily time frame, right? So we've come down here and we've offered sell side delivery to the liquidity void. We traded all the way through it, all the way down to consequent encroachment of the inversion fair value gap, and went back up and closed inside of the liquidity void. Now, here we are here, right? So now it's time to see if this continues to act as support to push us back up, right? Or if we want to continue down some more, right? What do we say we were doing over here? We have a bullish order block over here. Mean threshold of the entire order block is there. Mean threshold of just the body is there, right? If you want to use the last candle, I'm defaulting to the beefiest because this last candle is inside there. That's mean threshold of the last candle, the entire candle, and that's mean threshold of the body, kind of like the same area, right? Kind of like the same area, like a 2-point difference, right, in the price. Okay, so the signatures, the buy program is still intact on the daily. Why? Because we got us a retracement, right? We had us a consolidation, we got an expansion, now we're getting the retracement right there, right? So the buy program is still intact. Did I delete something? I don't know, I thought I deleted something. Right, buy program is still intact on the daily, right? Watching this area like a hawk. Daily time frame, this right here is a balanced price range, right? So for the daily time frame, you don't want to see us sliding all down up in here, right? There's no reason for the daily to slide down in here outside of sell side liquidity, right? We've already traded below that low right there. The only low we haven't traded below is that protected low down here. Well, we got this one here, but that protected low there, right? So we've come back and we traded below a low there without going toward this, right? So the algorithm is not showing a willingness to come there because when we traded below that low, we got a nice rejection and displacement, right? So there's no reason for the daily to come down here outside of liquidity, all right? So watching that area like a hawk on the daily. For the bullish narrative, right? This is a balanced price range, right? You want to see price go through this relatively easy, right? You don't want to see it get here and start doing. Why? Because the weekly has traded up into this weekly SIBI and it's pushed price away, creating a fair value gap. It's done its job, right? It has done its job. Came up, ricochet, pushed it down, created a fair value gap. It's done its job. So now you want to see price move through this relatively easy, right? Move through it relatively easy. And then don't forget, the BISI is down there, right? We've come back to consequent encroachment of the SIBI, right? Came down. Did we kiss the BISI? Let's see if we kissed the BISI. High of the BISI is 19,940 and a quarter. Low of today's candle is 19,937 and a quarter. Yes. So we not only kissed the BISI, right? We gave it a French kiss, right? Gave it a French kiss, right? Right? Gave it a French kiss. All right. So with that, we've come back down to another area of support right here at a balanced price range on the daily, right? For the bullish argument, you don't want to see price continuing to slip through here, right? You don't want to see price continue to slip through here. Remember what we said when we were retracing back up here, right? If you look at the very last drop to there, right? That brought us back to a deep premium, right? If you look at the area where we left the balanced price range, right? This is the balance, right? If you look at where we left the balanced price range here, right? If you go there, right? That put us just into a slight premium in order to continue down, right? That's the bearish side of it, right? We are retracing back, right? So looking at the last price leg, we went into a deep premium. Looking at the price leg since we left the balanced price range, right? It brings up into a slight premium, right? Which lines up with that balanced price range and then this balanced price range, right? And we came back up and come back down. Now, like we said, the weekly and the daily switching to a buy program put us in line with the monthly bullishness. So that's why we're focusing on the bullish narrative, right? We're focusing on the bullish narrative because this put the lower time frames in line with the monthly. But we keep it in mind, what is the bearish narrative, right? The bearish narrative is, right, we've retraced back down, and this right here, we got this. We do have this lower order block down here, but looking at this order block pretty much as the last line of defense, because like we say, there's no real reason for price to come down here because we already traded below that low right there, right? We already trade. Yes, we do have a long wick here, right? But that's just, it's no real imbalance down here. This was the last imbalance there, the liquidity void. All right. So we've come down, getting healthy price action coming into the liquidity void, right? So this right here, last line of defense for the bullish narrative. Want to see that order block sustain along with the weekly bullish fair value gap. All right. The weekly bullish fair value gap. Yes. All right. That's our daily time frame. Now we have a SIBI now, right? We already said that that gives us a balanced price range here. Okay. Now we got a balanced price range above us. All right. When you have a balanced price range above us and you're bullish, what do we want to see? Right. So with a balanced price range above us and you're bullish, what do you want to see? Somebody tell me what you want to see if you got a balanced price range above us, above you and price and you're bullish. What do you want to see?
You want price to cut through it like butter.
Yes. You want to see it cut through it like butter, right? Meaning get back on the top side of it and then use it as support, right? Just like we got a balanced price range below us and you're bullish, you want to see it be used as support. You don't want to see it just pushing through. You want to see it used as support. All right. Just like on the weekly, you want to see it get to the top side of the weekly SIBI and use it as support. You want to see it get to the top side of the balanced price range and use that support. Right now, if price, let's say price decides it wants to start going back up, it doesn't want to come down and finish laying a body across here, right? And you know, it's just going to end this week up, right? It's going to end this week up. Now, above you in price, right? Above you in price, you now have two obstacles that you want to see how price reacts when it goes. If price start coming up, you're looking at how we react to consequent encroachment of that wick. You're looking at how we react to this balanced price range, right? Because consequent encroachment of this wick and this balanced price range, their job is to push price back down, right? It's to push price back down. So on a daily time frame, you don't want to see no fitter-fatting around at these areas here for the bullish narrative. Why? Because this right here, right? You've offered buy-side delivery, you've offered sell-side delivery. There's no need to be fitter-fatting around right here, right? No reason to be fitter-fatting around if price is exceedingly bullish. We consolidated, we expand, we retraced, right? Now that we've retraced, right? We're looking for the deliver, all right? If we don't get the deliver and we continue to drop, right? And we could be looking at an expansion, consolidation, expansion, and reversal, right? Consolidation, expansion, reversal. Okay. Let's jump down to a 15-minute and then look at this small range day today. Right. Really didn't have a big range day today. Today was a kind of small range day today. All right. So looking at today's price action, right? This is where we opened at here. Right. That's what we opened at there. And this is where we closed at here. All right. We opened there. We closed there at 6. And then we closed pretty much the same spot, roughly the same area, right, at 4. Right. So looking at today's price section, was today a power of 3 day? Was today a power of 3 day? No. Shout out Kashaya, shout out Kim, shout out Hit and Learn and Share. Also, shout out E-Rock and shout out Deborah for pulling up with the hard-hitting answer about the cutting through it like butter. I appreciate y'all for the class participation. My feelings ain't been hurt all day today. My feelings have not been hurt all day today. Why do we say this was not a power of 3 day? Right, Tim? We had an open, right? Price made a high, price made a low, and it closed off of the low, right? Why do we say it's not a power of 3, right? The reason why we say it's not a power of 3, because we opened, right? Kind of consolidated a little bit there. You can say went down, but kind of like a consolidation, right? We went up, right? Came all the way back down, went all the way back up, came almost all the way down, almost all the way up, then came almost all the way down again, and then closed off the low. This is not a power of 3 day. A power of 3 day is going to give you accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, close off of the low, right? So if you look at how price moved on a power of 3 day, right, you want to see something to the narrative of this. We want to see something to the narrative of that. You don't want to see up, down, up, down, up, down. That's not a power of 3-day, right? No clear AMD. It took out both sides. You're right, right? We came down below this low, right? We traded back up above the highs, traded back down again, didn't take a low, didn't take a high, traded down, took out the lows, traded up, took out the highs, traded down, didn't take out a low, traded up, didn't take out a high, traded down, took out a low, right? No clear accumulation, manipulation, distribution over the entire day, right? Over the entire day. Very, very, if you look at price in totality, this was what type of day was this? In totality, when you look at it in totality, right? It was actually, if you can kind of split it, right? You can kind of split it, right? You can kind of split it, but we went up, engaged the buy side. Well, actually, we came down, engaged the sell side, went up, engaged the buy side, went into this wicked high resistance, right? Then we came down, took out the sell side, went up, took out the buy side, then came back down into this wicked high resistance, then came down and took out the sell side, right? So it was this weird mixture of seek and destroy and high resistance, right? Tim, what do you mean? We came here where we took out sell side, took out buy side, right? Looking like it's giving us a Judas swing, right? Then we came down, right? Didn't take out the sell side, right? Made relative equal lows, pushed up, didn't take out the buy side, right? Made relative equal highs, right? Then we came down, right? And then we took out the sell side, boom, right? Then we immediately went back and took out the buy side, boom, right? And then we came back down and took out the sell side again, right? So it's like it was this weird high resistance / seek and destroy type conglomeration. Buy side, sell side, right? Didn't take it, right? Took it, right? Buy side, sell side, high resistance. Sell side, buy side, high resistance, right? Right. Weird, like small range day, right? When you're trading in a small range day like that, a kind of consolidation day, when your daily candle comes out looking like this, if we go there, right? If I gotta take this off. When your daily candle comes out looking like this, right there, right? We got a super long wick at the top, you know, decent sized wick at the bottom, and the body is hanging there, not far from where it opened, right? It opened here and closed there, right? The body, it didn't close, it closed not far from where it opened, right? Closed not far from. When you say market taking out sell side liquidity, does that mean they are taking out long stops? Yes. Yes. Sell side liquidity is if you're in a long position, you have a sell stop in place. If you're in a short position, you have a buy stop in place. All right. I mean, okay, if you want to call it a stop hunt, that's cool, but it's yeah, if you want to call it a stop hunt, that's cool. Like, you know, in the past, I used to call it like stop hunt. Like if you saw like long candles like this right here, like a long wick like that. I think we used to call them like stop loss hunters or something like that. If it was like a long wick on the thing, like, oh, that's a stop loss hunter. We used to call it that, but you know, I don't use them terms no more. So yeah, if you know if you want to make it make sense in your head, then yeah, a stop hunt, taking out like, and, you know, but you like, I don't really look at it as like hunting stops no more. I just look at it as, you know, delivering to the liquidity. You know what I'm saying? Like going to the anticipated draw on liquidity, anticipating it to either go to the draw on liquidity or manipulating and engineering more liquidity to get to the draw on liquidity. Right. So yeah, stop hunt. There you go. There you go. So we opened up over here last night at 20,046 even, right? Like we say, we kind of hung out over here for a while, right? And then right around 7:30 or so, right, we started to displace up. It's weird that the market takes out both sides in a short period of time. Like today, 9 to 11, I almost got burned. Thank God for stops. I don't know who God's with a lowercase g and a D and a Z is, but okay. Okay. He say, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Here we go. So we started to displace up. Allah and came up and took out this buy side from yesterday's afternoon, and looked like we might have got that one too. Yes, we did. We got that one too, right? From the 230 high, right? Took out that buy side. What is that over there? Right? We've gone up and engaged what type of liquidity here? This is what type of liquidity? What type of liquidity is that? Not buy side. Yes, it is buy side, but what type of liquidity is that? What type of buy side liquidity?
Time-based.
Time-based liquidity. Shout out Deborah and Honey for pulling up with the hard-hitting answers, right? Time-based liquidity, right? So we engaged with time-based liquidity, right? And then we hung out there after midnight, right? Consolidating, did not take it out, right? So once we came up there and took out that time-based liquidity, right? As you see there, after midnight, we pushed up very close to it, right? But did not take it out, okay? Once we pushed up to it after midnight and did not take it out, price started to make a descent, right? Where did it descend to? It descended all the way down to the lowest imbalance in this range on the 15-minute time frame, trading down into this. Or see this weird long candle there. That's your order block there. Matter of fact, all of this, because that's one big order block right there. Right, this whole little move there, because this one candle there. Right, so this is one big huge order block. But we came down into the last down close candle of the order block, reprice the lowest imbalance, right there, and right, reprice the lowest imbalance there, right, got a nice little wick up there, nice little wick, and then we proceeded to come all the way back up to above midnight, right, came all the way back up just above midnight, but we did not take out any highs. We didn't take out that high that we created just before midnight. We didn't take out the high after midnight right there. We didn't take out the high inside the London kill zone. We didn't take out the other high from inside the London kill zone, right? So now we just have all of this trend line liquidity resting here, right? Call these relative equal highs, okay? Traded back down, came into the rejection block, right? Came into the rejection block, and then traded back up into the highest imbalance, in that price leg right there, right? This price leg here traded back up to the highest imbalance, right? This was coming into the 830 news. So on an 830 news candle, right? The algorithm did what? Push price up to take out short-term buy side and to reprice the imbalance, right? Reprice the inefficiency there. Okay, took manipulated up using it, and then I shared a video in the Discord. I said, hey, it's not as news wasn't as volatile as a CPI print, but is news nonetheless, right? And so we saw that the algorithm manipulated out the buy side and repriced the SIBI, and then came back down and traded down below the lows, taking out the sell side, right? Taking out the sell side and creating the low of the day on the 930 candle, right? Creating the low of the day on the 930 candle. After that, well, we didn't know it was the low of the day then, but we just had come down and taken out all the sell side that we had been engineering throughout the night. All right, came down, swept all the sell side that we have been engineering over the night, came down into this daily SIBI. No, yes, that's the daily SIBI that we had made an inversion fair value gap, came back down into that inversion fair value gap. I believe we traded back down. Was that the weekly down there too? Check that. Check that. Check that. Was that the weekly down there too? Oh, wrong thing. Where's the? Oh, no. Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. We traded into the top of it, right? Traded down into the weekly. Traded down to the weekly, all on the 930 candle, right? Then on 930 candle, we started to push back up, and we had very efficient delivery on the 15-minute chart all the way back up until we came up and took out the buy side and traded up to here. Did not take out that buy side. We took out this buy side, did not take out that buy side. And I said up to here because that at the time was just an inversion fair value gap, I think. Let's go back to, I think that was on the weekly. Was that the weekly or daily? Okay, daily. Yes, inversion fair value gap, because it wasn't a balanced price range yet, right? It was just an inversion fair value gap because we this day hadn't closed yet, so this SIBI didn't exist yet. So we traded back up to the inversion fair value gap right there from the 24th. All right. So we traded back up to the inversion fair value gap from the 24th, right? Did not take out that buy side, stopped that, the bearish order block and the inversion fair value gap. And then we slid all the way back down to the daily low, right? Yes, the prior day's low, all the way down to the high of the new week opening gap from Monday, all the way back to the reclaimed fair value gap. Remember that lowest imbalance in that range there we had traded down to, all the way back down to that. So we got a lot of confluence here, right? Then we traded back up, all the way back up to the highest imbalance, right? Poking above that high right there one more time, but came all the way back to the highest imbalance of the range, traded up above it a little bit, coming back above that high one more time. Then we dropped all the way back down to consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap, right? Then we just hung out in this little area right here for the rest of the day, and then slowly made our way back up to this area here. We really ain't, we ain't got nothing on this time frame for a good reason for coming back up here. We can look at some other time frames for it, but I'm not going to do that right now. All right, slowly made our way back up to there. Go through your own charts to figure out what we traded our way back up to in that area right over there. Right. The only thing on this time frame we have there is consequent encroachment of that wick. Right. Consequent encroachment of that wick. We have a small balanced price range right here. Right. Balanced price range right there, traded up to the high of it. Consequent encroachment of that wick. Right. There you go there. Right. Hit that balanced price range, hit consequent encroachment of that wick, and then drop it like it's hot during the 315 to 345 macro. Right. I saw somebody posted on Twitter that the macros don't exist. Talks from Michael said, what did you do to improve your learning, your trading experience or something? He was like, I took the stuff out of ICT that whatever, pretty much saying the macro times, because the macro times don't exist. And so him idiot. But right there, you see at 315, right? We traded up to that area. And then by 345, we had come all the way back down there. So nice little delivery to the sell side during the macro time. Right. Nice little delivery to the sell side. It's crazy. Today was like a wild day for me. This morning, I traded in 2 of my accounts this morning, did pretty good in those 2 accounts. And then this afternoon, I traded in 1 of my accounts and I did pretty good in that account. And then I thought I switched to a different account, and I took a loss. And when I took the loss, I was like, God dog. And I looked over there and I didn't see no red P&L. I said, God dog, and I didn't switch my account. So I had given back, you know what I'm saying, some of the profits that I made in one of the accounts. So then I got another little piece. I got another little piece of a short over here somewhere, right? And I got some of the profits back. I didn't get back, you know what I'm saying, everything that I wanted, but I got some of them back in that account that I had given some of the profits back. But I was like, God dog it, forgot to switch my account. Right. But that's the price action recap, man. That's all I got for y'all. What do anybody got anything for me?
The other thing I noticed was that the high from this morning was about 50% from the move down from yesterday. So if you draw from the low to the accumulation that started to move down.
You said from the low? Hold on, say it
From the
again now.
low of this morning
From the low of this morning
to the accumulation that would have been around 9 o'clock on Wednesday.
9 o'clock on Wednesday.
Keep going. Yeah, right about there.
Right here.
Yeah. It should be pretty close to 50%.
Yeah,
you got to go to the middle of the accumulation.
Yeah, now I'm saying, like, so from this accumulation here, right? You said around 9 o'clock, right? So around 9 o'clock there. Okay. So around 9
and it
o'clock
also
here,
lines up with a bearish order block
over here.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so you're just looking at like from this descent here. So coming from this descent here, and we continue down, and then we make a low, right? Then we coming back to roughly equilibrium from like once we start dropping here.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at there. Okay. All right. So, and with
maybe it's coincidence, but I don't know.
All right. So with that, you're looking at it as okay, we've offered buy side and sell side in this area here. Then once we leave that area there, we're looking at once we come out of that area there, this is when we drop from out of there. So we dropped out of that area. So we taking from this entire range down. We continue to make a low, right? So we steadily stretching our fib down, and then we come back to equilibrium, and we got a order block right there at that area, right? So nothing's coincidence because see, we consolidated there, right? And then we traded back there because what do we always talk about? Like when we looking at when we getting our 10 minutis, right? If we leave in an area, right? Let's just say we come right here when we come to this high, right? And we take this down and put it to an area where we consolidate in it right there, right? When we put it on this consolidation, oh, look what it do. It come down to a new week opening gap. That's a drawn liquidity. We can expect the price to get down to that new week opening gap. You see what I'm saying? And then it never trades back up to a premium. So we just keep extending the low once we get down here, right? And once we extend that low, even if we extend that low to there, now guess what? We're right there at another area where we consolidated there again. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing accidental about how the algorithm works. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You can, if you know what signatures to look for, you can pick it apart. You can pick apart price on how you want to trade it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can anticipate, this is an area of fair value, so I can anticipate price coming back to it if I want to trade back up to that point. Or you say, oh, this is an area of fair value. We got an order block here. Now, if I see a bearish setup, once we hit this spot, I can trade back down because I know we've come to a premium, come to an order block. I'm anticipating that order block to do its job because I consider this to be a true order block because it's right there at an area of fair value. So I'm anticipating it to block price from getting back up here. You know what I'm saying? It has a very unique job. Plus, it's right there with a breakaway gap. Price already showed me it don't want to go back above here. I got an institutional order flow entry drill on a breakaway gap, right? And then we continuing down. And we also got a breakaway gap up here, right? And this breakaway gap, and it's like certain signatures you look for because check it, we got a breakaway gap here. When was this breakaway gap formed? As soon as we left a balanced price range. So if we leave a balanced price range like this right here, getting us a break, just a breaking structure, changing the state of delivery, right? We anticipate to see that breakaway gap right there because it's like price is showing me now I'm in a hurry to get there, right? And if you're in a hurry to get there, you get that breakaway gap right after you leave this area right here, right? And then if we come here and go from the high, right? And then we can come here to that low right there, right? Because that's that leg right there, right? And then we put this in the 4th grade, put this in quads, right? Look at there, right? All this stuff line up with what Michael teach us, right? We got a breakaway gap at a quarter, right? We got a possible measuring gap at 50%, right? To where price delivered to. You see what I'm saying? All this is stuff he teaches, right? When I was looking at the video of the day, I picked up the gem about the breakaway gap being at the quarter. The one that when people was like, hey, he was just talking about measuring gaps in that video. I went back and looked at the video because I had started watching it, but I didn't finish it. But when I looked at the video and he was talking about the measuring gaps right here at 50%, he being said it was like 50%, right? Because the way he used to teach it was, I'm trying to remember how he used to teach it. It was something about bringing the fib to there. I can't remember if it was from the high of that gap to the high of this gap, or if it was from the high to the high of the gap and then projecting it down, and then one standard deviation. Yes, that's what it was. One standard deviation is right there. Right, that's how he used to teach it, from the high to the high of the measuring gap and then project it down, and then one standard deviation would be like the target. You know what I'm saying? And then in that video, he taught it like go from the high and then put the consequent encroachment, put the 50% at the consequent encroachment of the measuring gap. And man, cheese and rice. Look at today's price action. You see how we can't, the bodies of the candles is respecting that line. right there. That's just like how he drew it out in the video the other day, right? We bring that to like right around consequent encroachment of the measuring gap. Stretch this out. You know, I know some people be like, man, that stuff is way too complicated. I used to think the same thing until I learned it. Right? When I learned this stuff. Right. So then we get this and we bring it down, put that right on consequent encroachment there. Right. And then you see we came right down there, bodies of it, respecting that, dropped down to it once again, right? Went up, came back down. Look at that, man. This stuff really works, man. This stuff really works, right? That's from the high, stretching it out to the measuring gap, and that's how far you can anticipate price going. Right? A good, as he say, low-hanging fruit objective, right? Good low-hanging fruit objective. And again, right now, we've come back down to that liquidity void. We've repriced that, right? There's a 15-minute fair value gap down there also. That was below that low from earlier, from like 9:30. There's a 15-minute fair value gap down there, right? And besides that 15-minute imbalance right there, well, I think it's a 15-minute imbalance down there, but like higher time frame wise, there's really no reason for price to be coming down here. Remember, this is that daily fair value gap that has been supporting price. This was the bearish fair value gap that we created an inversion fair value gap, right? And so now the weekly fair value gap is here, right? So now we're at the daily inversion. We've created the inversion, traded away, and now we're back at it, right? So we created it and now we're back at it, right? So that's why I say the order block that's right over here somewhere on the daily, that's the last line of defense, because we created the PD array, traded away, and now we're back at it. All right. All right, man. Anybody got anything else? I appreciate the commentary there, Jim. There's not just one way to look at price, right? We just want to look for the signatures that stick out to us, right? You just want to look at the signatures that stick out to us and understand, okay, what is this signature saying? What does this signature mean, right? And then once we figure that out, we develop a way that we want to engage, right? Prices seem to make a beeline toward that sell side. The prior day's low.
So on the 15-minute, so when price comes to an ARP and it takes out a high and a low, that can be a signature of it's turning around.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to make this make sense of what's going on my chart. Hold on, I saw some of my chart that's not making sense, so I'm trying to figure out what I did here. That's daily. It's on 4 hour. And then Oh, I know that was. I was drawing that out. Because that was that big. Okay. All right. All right. You were saying what now? You said if price did what?
Come to ARP, takes out a high and a low. It's a possible turnaround.
Uh, I need
Signature
more.
of
I need more context. Like, what do you mean? Like, come to ARP, then take out a high and a low. Like, give me more.
on the 15-minute, it took out the high and the low today.
Okay, but I'm saying I need more context. Like, when it took out the high and low, what was it? Bullish? Was it bearish? Was it? You see what I'm saying? Like, I need more context on what you talk about as far as just took out a high and low. Because just saying took out a high and low is a possible of this. I need to know what exactly was price doing. Like, what do you mean?
It
Like
came down.
when you
Yeah.
say come to ARP, that I mean it ain't helping me because you ain't telling me it's price bullish is coming back to a discount. It's like you see what I'm saying? Like you just saying it's coming to an ARP and it took out a high and a low. I need more information. Like what's the scenario? Well, I mean, what's the narrative behind it?
Okay, let's see on the 15-minute. Okay, price this today came down to the ARP, right? Took
The
out the low and
okay,
then went up and took out a high.
okay, what's the ARP that we coming to? You said when it came down here.
Yeah,
All right, when it came down here,
yes,
so we're coming to okay, the new day opening gap right here, right? And we took out this low there.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And then we went up and took out that high there.
right.
Okay. And then you saying that can be a signature of you asking can it be a signature of a reversal, you saying?
Yeah.
Or I mean it could be. It could be, but it just depends on the higher time frame narrative because again, we're looking at a 15-minute chart. So it's like we don't want to build our narrative from the bottom down. We want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to build our narrative from the top, I mean the bottom up. We want to build our narrative from the top down. So a like a like a day like this right here, we can't say, oh, this is a reversal, or we can't say, oh, this is not a reversal, because this is just a high resistance, you know what I'm saying, high resistance day on the 15-minute, right? We need to define that from like what's going on the daily. You see what I'm saying? What's going on the daily? What's going on the weekly? What's going on the 4 hour at the minimum? You know what I'm saying? What's going on these time frames? Then we can say, oh, you know what I'm saying? This could be a possible reversal that's playing out now. You see what I'm saying? Because when we got here, right, we hit a weekly ARP, right?
Mhm.
What's this weekly's ARP job? To send us where?
Back down.
Back down where?
Back down to the week opening gap.
No, its job is to send us back here.
Oh, okay, okay.
And we came down, we set a low, we retrace back to the fair value gap. So its job is to send us there, right?
Yeah.
So we've got here and now we're moving down. So based off of this fair value gap here, this fair value gap job is to send us here, right? So now we got to look and see what stands in the way of us getting there below
The
this
OD.
PD area here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
on this time frame, right, the first thing we want to do, look on this time frame and see if there's anything that should stop us. When I say this, I mean this time frame, right? Because it's a weekly PD rate. We want to see if there's anything that should stop us from getting to that low, right? And on that time frame, we have daily. We have a weekly fair value gap down here, right? We got a weekly fair value gap down, a bullish weekly fair value gap down here, right? That's job is to stop us from getting there. Okay, so that's on the weekly time frame. Now we're in between these two areas right there, right? And then on the daily time frame, say what's designed to stop us from getting there, right? We got a daily balanced price range right there, and we got a daily order block right there, right? So these are the things that's designed to stop us from getting there, right? We got an inversion fair value gap too that we just created, right? So we created the inversion fair value gap, and then now we're trading back down to it. So you want to make sure you got that annotated, right? Because that's fresh in the sense of price action because we just created it, right? It's not fresh in the sense of because it's in this price leg, right? And we've got this price leg over here, but we just created this, so we trading back to it. So that's like a fresh PDub rate, right? Unmitigated, if you will, right? Unmitigated, if you will, because we traded away. Now we're coming back, right? So you're watching that from a daily standpoint. That's supposed to keep price up to stop us from getting down here to this low, right? And then below that, we got wicks and lows and other stuff that's supposed to stop us from going there. All right. Now we're looking at our 4-hour time frame, right? Because we want to see everything that above us if there's a reason to come down here, right? So now we got our inversion fair value gap that we're watching, right? And we also got a huge 4-hour BISI right here. Matter of fact, I just deleted that BISI because it said daily. I remember now, right? We got a 4-hour BISI right there, huge 4-hour BISI right there that incorporates this liquidity void, right? On the daily time frame. Okay, so now we got a BISI down there, and we also got a bullish order block down there on the 4-hour, right? So I'll just leave that line there and just remember that that's pretty, I'll just put it here, right? No, just let us know we're in the lower part of that BISI. Now we go down to the 15-minute, right? And now with all of that in our mind, as we come down to the 15-minute, now we see we come down, right? And we're inside the 4-hour fair value gap. We're inside all of that right there. And then we push back up, right? And we take out the high on the 15-minute and trade into that order block, right? So now that we push back up above this high, right? What is that? That's a bullish breaking market structure on the 15-minute. So now we got to go back up, right? And see if there's a reason for coming up there. We come back up to a 4-hour. We have a 4-hour SIBI right here, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, right, we've come down, expanded there, and then we retrace back up to that SIBI, right? So we got a reason to go back up there. So you don't want to say, oh, this is a reversal just yet. Why? Because we had a reason to come up there on the 4-hour. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you believe it could be a hinting at a reversal because you believe in this ARP that strongly, then you want to see price come back here and be supported by this breaker. Come back to this breaker right there, which will be below midnight, and then push price back up. But as you see, it didn't. It failed. So that right there, we had a reason to come up on the 4-hour. We went back up to an order block, went back up, like Jim pointed out, to an area of equilibrium / premium, right? And then we slid back down, right? So we never want to build our narrative from the bottom up. We always want to build our narrative from the top down.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right. Anybody else got anything else? Shout out D for pulling up with the hard hitting question. We always want to remember what's going on. I know I say it a lot. You want to remember what's going on with the higher time frame, right? But just always remember when you're looking at the lower time frames, don't get lost in the lower time frame. When you see the lower time frame do something, go up and say, is there a reason for the higher time frame to come here? Right? If there's a reason for the higher time frame to go there, then you need that lower time frame to prove a point. You need it to prove a point. You need it to, it's giving you signatures, right? So if it's giving you a signature, right? If it's giving you a signature, prove it right here. Show me that you really mean this, because I have to allow for you to make this. I'm not a pattern trader. I got to allow for that pattern to form because my higher time frame got a reason to come up here. But now that I'm here, prove it to me. Prove that I'm not, it's not coming down there. Show me. I'm from Missouri. Show me. Show me that you're bad, right? And if it comes here and supports, now you want to say, okay, it's time to go. Get that extra confirmation, right? Because everything can look like something, but based off the narrative, is it really that? Is it really that? Don't get caught up in the patterns. Look for the signatures. It happened to the best of us. I still get caught up on the lower time frames. Gang done seen me get caught up on the lower time frame tape reading a couple weeks ago. What I said, oh man, I done got locked in on this lower time frame. Would have been getting my head bust in. It still happened to the best of us. Yes, this is a Sam's cup. Yes, I did go to Sam's and get me a slice of pizza, a drink, and a cinnamon pretzel today. Can't beat it. $3.82. Get full. Get full as a tick. Anybody got it? Sherwin, you got anything, Sherwin?
No, I'm good, Big Spider.
I know you tried Sherwin. Out there sound like Holiday Heart. You don't get off here. Sound like Holiday Heart. Try Sherwin. Lump, you got anything?
No, I ain't got that right now. Trying to set up this new computer.
Jim, you got some, Jim?
No, I'm good.
Yolanda, you got anything? D already came through with the hard-hitting question.
You would, oops, you would still consider, like, since we're in the middle of the road, this to be a place where you in and out if you did want to
Yes.
purchase options. You need.
Options. Man, I wouldn't personally. I don't mess with options when we're in the middle of the road. I don't do it because I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like back when I used to trade options, right? I had a feel for, you know what I'm saying, how to get in and out, play double dutch with options, but I haven't traded options for real in over 2 years. So now the only time I play options is like when we're outside of ranges where, you know what I'm saying, since we're like in the middle of the road, I don't fool with options right now because we're in between conflict and PD arrays and we can go either way, right? We can go either way. Like if the only way I would have been trading options was like if I was bearish and we have come up to like a premium, but we wasn't in between like conflicted PD arrays, or if I'm bullish and we've dropped down to a discount and we're not in between conflicted PD arrays. Like, for example, if there wasn't a weekly SIBI sitting right here, right, and we expanded up and we came back down into this inversion fair value gap, right, then I would be looking at buying calls to go up. But since we're in between conflict and PD arrays, and all we've done is like retrace back up to a premium for, you know what I'm saying, like this range here, right? I'm not interested in trying to buy some calls because all we did was come back up to a good place to continue down to the sell side. You see what I'm saying? Because we're in between a rock and a hard place. But that's just because I ain't got like my sea legs under me for like options anymore. But when I was trading options, I traded options just like how I trade the futures now. Like I would go in, like if I'm just looking for a trade throughout the day, the only difference is instead of buying it for 0 day, I would buy it for like a week out, 2 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? Like I would buy it for an extended period of time. Like just say if we are, just say like we're like this, for example. I don't know what time of day this is, but like at 9:30, right? We came down here, right? And then we came up there and took out this high right there, right? On, right? Like if I was trading like the SPX, right? As price started coming back down in here, right? All right, let's look at like a, let me go back here. All right, when I was trading the SPX, right? When we came up and we took out a 15-minute high, as price traded back down into this fair value gap right there, then I will buy like a XPX call for the same day, right? And then as we made our way back up to this high right there, then I would close it. But if I was trading the SPY, right? If I was trading the SPY when it pulled back here, I would buy a SPY call for the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? Like today, the 27th, I'll buy a SPY call for the 3rd. You see what I'm saying? And then if it happened to not play out like I wanted to that day, then I had, plenty of time. But if I anticipated to do that, I would buy it for the 3rd. Or what I used to do also was I would buy for the 3rd, and then I would also buy like I'll buy some calls for the 3rd, but I will also buy some calls for the next day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would buy calls for a 3rd. If I was really sure about it, I'll buy calls for the 3rd, and then I'll buy some calls for the next day. Right. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like when it took off, the ones that was for the next day, this was going, you know what I'm saying, pay me good. And then the ones for the 3rd, right, I might shave some of them and leave some runners. Right. I might shave some of them and leave some runners, depending on how many contracts I bought. Right. That's how I used to play the options. You know what I'm saying? If I felt good about a move, or I just played it just off the price action. But now, since I only trade them as far as for swing trading, when we're in between conflict and PD arrays, I don't even mess with options when we're in areas like we are now. When on the daily, when I'm in an area where it's just saying sit on your hands, right? It ain't really giving me nothing like here, because like when we was here, right, this was sit on your hands time, right? But then we expanded away and we came back down. Like I said, coming back down here, if we wasn't up against a higher time frame PD rate that's designed to push us down, this would be the time I would be looking to buy. But since we're in between the tail of two cities on the weekly, now I ain't trying to buy nothing. Right? Could you buy here and it go to the moon? You get a wonderful entry. Yes, you can. But you can also buy here and it keeps sliding. You get busting your head because we don't know which way we're going to go. We're in between the tail of two cities and we don't try to predict that. I don't. I'll say it like that. I don't try to predict that. Long-winded answer, but hopefully it made sense.
Yep, makes sense. And yeah, I was referring to swinging. So just sail between two cities, sit on the sidelines, and then we choose a direction. We wait for a signature for entry for a swing.
Yeah. And the only reason why I do it like that is because I believe that the market gonna always allow you an opportunity if you're patient, right? The market ain't going nowhere. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So who cares if you don't get the lowest tick entry when you buy your calls? Who cares if you don't get the highest tick entry when you buy your puts? Right? We're here to make money, right? And like I say, if we get into something and end up in this, we're not making money. That's dead money, right? It's being held up for no reason, right? It's being held up with the possibility of a loss. Whereas if you don't get in and you get into this, yeah, your money not doing nothing, but you don't have no possibility of a loss. You see what I'm saying? No stress, no headache, right? You still sitting there just waiting, right? So if we did this in between the daily time frame, who's to say we won't do that in between the weekly time frame, right? So I just chill and wait until the market actually shows me something, right? Until it actually shows me something. So if we, like I said, if this supports price and then we push up, right? Okay, fine. We push up. I ain't gonna chase it. Give me a retracement to get involved, right? Who cares if I don't get the lowest tick entry? Because guess what? I got an entry and I still made money, right? I got an entry and I still made money. If I get an entry here and it stay here all this time, I might end up making less money than if I would have just wait for it to come here and got in there, because now I've eaten up all my premium while it's sitting here dancing to the side. And now the price I paid over here is less than, it was more than the price that somebody else paid there. So now I paid, just say I paid $6 here and somebody paid $2 here, right? Now it's worth $2. I'm $4 in the red, right? I come to $10 up here, right? This person made $8 and I only made $4. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got anything else? All right. With that, tomorrow is Friday. Gang. We got tape reading in the morning at 9. So we're gonna be tape reading at 9 in the morning. Again, y'all be on the lookout for
Gang or diamond members.
diamond members. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Deborah. I did not mean to. I did not mean to get you excited like that and think that it was, fun to be for the whole gang. I'm so sorry. I truly jollipies. I really do. But it's for the diamond members. The diamond members, we're doing tape reading in the morning. It's gang. Is for the gang or just diamond members? What's up, Joker? What Joker slid in here? Joker slid up in here. Joker still in here? You still in here, Joker? Diamond members, tape reading in the morning. And then we'll do a weekly recap tomorrow night at 6. We're gonna do a weekly recap tomorrow at 6. Remember, be on the lookout on the 1st for the gang members for the WAP link for Conquering the Asian session, right? Be on the lookout for that on the 1st. Non gang members, be on the lookout for the link on the 8th of April. Remember, do the prerequisite videos, because when we get into the actual sessions, right, we're gonna be sprinting. We passed that. We're past all the educational stuff, right? And y'all know how I do. I'll probably do like some pop-ups since it's no, I ain't gonna lie like that. I'll probably do some pop-ups. I was gonna say I'll try to schedule. I ain't scheduling nothing. Too much of a commitment to go and start scheduling stuff. It'll just be pop-ups whenever I feel like it. And nothing else, man. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. As always, you know, y'all I had a brain cramp. I don't know what I was gonna say, but I see y'all when I see y'all. Y'all be safe out in these streets, man. Gone.